Good morning, everybody. I am Malcolm Ash. Welcome back to the channel. I thought I would do something a little bit different today. As I'm running a little bit behind, I realized that I could actually show you my video editing process and exactly everything I do to edit all of the videos that go up on the channel. So the first and most important step is to have yourself some coffee. I'm drinking decaf, which is going to add nothing to my energy level, but it's fairly early. I'm recording the entire screen today so you can see what time I'm actually up doing this stuff. I use ShotCut. ShotCut is a free video editing software, and I've been sticking with it for some time now, despite being frustrated at some of the things that I want to do that I didn't realize I could do. I have a template file that I open before I do anything else. I just call it Ash Default Project. It is an MLT file, which is a type of file that just has all of these default settings and things in it. And if you're familiar with video editing at all, this may seem interesting and or useful to you. I'm not going to go into like what all this does or what it can do or anything like that. This is not a ShotCut presentation video, but you can think of it as one if you're interested in what it can do versus the video editing software that you use. I have 5 tracks laid out here. 3 of them are video tracks, 2 of them are audio tracks. And this is just the file that I saved. Each one of these is muted. For the full face cut in track and the face cam track, they're muted. I don't always use the full face cut in track, but I do sometimes. The action screen is my screen recording software, and it gets its own track. And then the sound effects and voiceover, that is ultimately the track that's going to get my voice recording into my microphone, which is off camera for some reason. But you know, there it is. Alright. And then I have a separate audio track just in case I need to drop a section of audio into something and give it some effects independent outside of its own track. And there are probably a lot of other better ways to set the program up, and probably a lot of different ways to use the tracks that are better than what I'm doing, but I don't care about any of that. I am doing just fine with this workflow for now. ShotCut recently had an update, and there's some really cool stuff up here now. An effects layout? I've never seen that before. I also don't know how to use keyframes yet, so let's just go back to where I was. And here's what I do. You can open a file in ShotCut, but I don't actually open my files that way. I have a dedicated video folder, and I don't mind showing you, this is all of the stuff that I've been working on lately. And I've got a video on Our Secret Garden, which is an SGB game that I played a while back. So I take all 3 of those files, which, by the way that I get my video files is Action will record the screen, and you can set it up to save the audio in a separate file if you want. And I go ahead and I do that just for the sole reason that after I get this file, if I were to put it in ShotCut, I'd want to extract the audio anyway and use a bunch of effects and stuff on it. And just for me, I feel like it's easier to think about if it's just a separate audio file. So I don't even, it's probably an unnecessary extra step, but I do it anyway. So I just drop them all into the playlist tab, and then I will take them from here and I will drop them into the tracks below. I'll drop the action screen record right there, and there you can see the preview. Drop my face cam here, and I'll take the last one, which is the audio track, and I will drop it right down into the SFX/voiceover track. I'll take the track and drop into, I'll take the clip and drop it into the track there. Does that make more sense? And you can see all of my recent stuff over here. Those should be recent videos that have come out on the channel. And sometimes what I do is after I get done with my editing process, I'll save it as its own file so I don't mess up my template file up here. And then I actually take this and I move it 1/10 of a second over to the right because there's an offset. Actually, the offset's going to be, it changes depending on how long the video is. A lot of people do that clap right before they start recording. I always forget to do that. I just sync it up at whatever spike I can see. You can kind of see the spike right here in this track. You can see the spike down here. I'll unmute that so you can see it easier. We just take that and we line it right up with the spike below. And that should be pretty in sync. Alright, so my filters are right here on each track. They've got their own filter section. And I'm going to click this guy because I'm actually going to move the size and position of my face cam. I want that to be a little bit bigger. So as soon as I do that, I'm getting a lot of lag right now. Here we go. I can just grow that up. That is about where I want it. I've been playing with different resolutions on my face camera, and that's causing me to have different results when I get everything opened up over here. But now that that's been done, I can hit play and listen to the recording and watch my mouth. Whoop, hold on, we gotta mute that though. We always keep the face cam muted. Good morning, everybody. That looks fantastic. We'll cut it right there. So use the down arrow key a couple times, and then I hit the S key on the keyboard, and that causes a split right here. I have this thing set up for ripple editing, so when I remove this section of track from the voiceover clip, you know what I mean, it'll remove the above two corresponding automatically. So now I've got 3 tracks that are all the same size. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to our secret garden. It's been a long time. I have deserved, or rather, I have owed it to the developer to play this game, to pick it back up and continue where I left off. This game was submitted to the summer 2020 game jam that I made, but I did not get all the way through the game. I usually listen. I actually had a couple of really stupid in my face very carefully to the audio track to make sure that there's no background hissing or popping or anything, and it actually sounds really good. Things to do. And I'm watching this audio level meter over here, and it doesn't seem to be going above 15. I want it to stay between the 15 and 20, 15 and 10, negative 10, negative 15. All of that's good. So actually, I'm going to just turn up the gain on the video game audio. Well, we're going to pick it back up again. We're going to pick it up right where I left off. So if you're interested in the first half of this game, it is a very serious and somber game that takes place in the future. Okay, that sounds like a pretty good balance to me. I have a lot of talking going on in this. So I'm looking for the low down spikes here. Or I'm going to go check the lava area. Oh, if I'm wrong, I should get out of this room and start again. I do a fair amount of running around for no reason. The secret garden? I know where it is now. It is there. I made it. I did it. Oh no. But I'm gonna cut the track there, and it doesn't matter which one of these tracks I cut. Ooh, I'm gonna apologize. Once I do my ripple edit and I delete the section that I'm about to delete, it will delete all of the corresponding tracks in the exact same places. So everything will still be nice and even, matched up, synced. That's the word I'm looking for. What can I... Oh, what? Click? Okay, there we go. What can I... We'll just do that, and we're going to remove that. You can see the total amount of time that I recorded was 21:16, or at least that's the total amount of time now, since I've removed that section earlier. And now it's shrunk down to 1946. And this is what I do. This is pretty much all that I do. I have my filters already set up in these tracks beforehand, and I just drop them in. And what I'm going to do, actually, because I spent a lot of time on that puzzle, is this video is going to have been uploaded and is already going to be out before this video, so it's okay. Right. Spoilers, you know. Right, left. I did a lot of trial and error for no reason. All I had to do was play the game. She lives at the end, and then over and around. Oh, they outright said, talk to Vin. There's where I stop wasting everybody's time, so we can shrink that. Now I'm down to 17 minutes, and I usually try to keep it to where it's like around 10. Right, left. I do that so that the upload is manageable. They outright said, talk to Vince. They said that, and I stupidly wasted my time and yours with my idiotic puzzle-solving abilities. How dare you? Lack thereof. Let's go back home and check out the computer. Okay, so now I'm not totally sure if the events... I do a lot more wasting time trying to figure things out that don't matter. And then does she say something else? Hello, sir. Yes. To close that out. Take that out, remove it, close that out. Regularly. By the way, he came to text heavy, so I keep all the text in as long as it doesn't sound clicky or poppy or breathy or anything. This microphone's done a great job for me with this software. I will keep you informed by phone. Thanks again. It's interesting to see how English is interpreted and spoken by... Okay, so now... Did you see that? Thank you for your help. I disconnect. Alright, so... I mean, there is a little bit of clicky poppy, but it's not overwhelming, and I don't think I need to go through and edit every little bit of it out. Difficult to make more explicit. 2, 3, bottom. Exclamation point, 1 through 4, entry. I saw that and I was just impressed. Oh, I'm like, oh. So, to me, we do it by playing earnestly. Okay. 2, 1, 4, so it's a 6 torch sequence. 2, 1, 1, right? 4. Yeah, this was all pretty straightforward. There's no need to really get in depth with the editing, but oh, jeezums. Do you want to edit for content and time? No big spikes, no real long areas of... He's just walking on a set path. Nothing going on. The utmost of carefulness here. It's orderly. Set path, I hope. Come on, Jan. Our secret response to like 6 or 7 different game jams that were going on at this. This was a little bit of a lapse in the gameplay. Come on, Jan. Our secret garden. This game was... But I want to keep this particular commentary because it's very important that I communicate that this game was submitted to several jams at once. I thought that was really cool. They made it to where it would respond. Whoa. What? To all of the game jams. What just happened? I don't need to split that. But I'll take out that dead space. And I'm going to show you a little bit of my filter setup as well, so that you can get kind of an idea how I pulled this off. Granny cakes, as promised, by phone. I don't need to... Oh god, that's gross. Okay, we will go ahead and split that audio because we're going to mute that. We're going to mute ourselves drinking the coffee. Cough. Aw, man. Hated that. Hated that. So you just select that section there, hit the plus sign. All right, I'm already on the filters tab. And then go to mute, which is in my favorites. If you don't have a favorites list or if it's empty, you just go to audio. And then you'd go down until you see mute. And I've got it starred so it appears in the favorites list. So yes, we mute that, and now it's in there. And there's no parameters, it's just muted. And I sometimes double check, by phone. Pretty much always double check my filters. Cough. Oh, cough harder. Very strong and irritated cough. Falling noise. Slow wheezing. Yeah, that's not how that would have happened, but, you know, the point was still across. She was in contact with the father and the son. Hated that. I hate that. The implications of that, though. I had quite a ways to go from the original. Now I wonder if there's more than one ending. I have found and stated before is bold. Now we are at the very end, and I've got a little bit of a time where I pause in between thoughts, trying to think of the right phrases and words to use, and I don't mind showing you that. No, but I don't want to keep it the game if it's disruptive, I feel, as I have found. Time for confinement. She was in contact with the father and the son. End. That's it. That is the end. We'll get rid of all these dead spaces. We'll take them right out. Quite a ways to go from the original. Now I wonder if there's more than one ending. That's something that I don't know. I really don't know that there would be more than one ending, but I did not venture to find out. You know, even if there isn't, that was a quaint and I feel proper way to end it. Because it leaves you guessing. And finished it up, and I hope that you all enjoyed watching the conclusion of our secret garden. And this last little part, you can just split while it's running. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye. Stay safe. Edit out my little click as I turn off the cameras and remove those, and I pretty much have my full video, so that is it. It will clock in at 15 minutes and 22 seconds. For my face cam, I've got a number of different filters that I put on. I have a mirror that I have to sometimes use whenever I want to put my face cam on the other side, and I just want my face to be facing into the game, into the screen. I just feel like that's more natural. It's a little bit more, it makes more sense, so I turn the mirror on. Brightness, I probably don't need to use brightness, but I do anyway. I have it set to 125%. Size and position just controls how big this window is. Then for the audio filters, I've got a gain and volume. I usually turn that up quite a bit. I didn't know it was at 24. That's quite... Oh, that's for the face cam. So that's turned off right now. All of these filters don't matter because this is a muted track. But whenever I record just a face video and I don't have anything going on any other screen, I'll have this maximized. And the audio filters will be a lot more relevant. Limiter is just to keep things from getting too loud. It'll cut them off if they go above a certain level. Bass and treble, I have this on here, but I shouldn't. I don't use it. I don't care about it anymore. Noise gate, this is not set up appropriately. It is set up appropriately down here in the SFX and voiceover track. The noise gate, the filter, and the gain and volume are the only three that I use. I've got the high pass and low pass on here because I was experimenting with things and I just never took them off, but they're disabled. And I have a limiter, but as long as you have your compressor correctly set up, you shouldn't need the limiter. And as long as you can watch your audio levels. So this video didn't take too long. I basically turned on ShotCut and then I turned on Action, which is recording the screen and all that stuff right now. And I'm clocking in at about 22 minutes, which I'm probably not going to edit this video for very much time or content. Actually, there was about a 2 or 3 minute interruption, but I'll get that edited out. But no big deal. This, I don't know if this is set up at its best, but this is to keep out the low hum of, you know, any motors or heaters or anything in the background, as well as any high-pitched noises. And there are definitely some noises if I turn this off versus keep it on. The compressor, this is just going to keep things from getting too loud, and when they do get too loud, it's going to push them back down into this 10-15 range that I have set. So pretty happy about that. I'm happy with how it's set up. I'm really happy with how it's set up now. That is it. Now I'm going to go to Properties. I'm actually going to go to File, then Save As, so that I can save this as something new, and I'm just going to type in my cigar 2. It doesn't have to make sense. I likely won't need it again, but just in case the computer crashes or something, I can just open up that file and everything will be just fine. So now I'm going to go to where is it at? Go back down here. Where's my export tab? My export tab's gone. My export tab went away because I clicked into one of these tabs. That's very stupid. Alright, it doesn't matter. We can hit the export button here. I don't need that properties setting, so we're going to take that away. There we go. This is normal to me. This is what should be. I've got 3 custom export settings here, and I'm going to put this in DP Final, which this uses the lib 2x4 codec. I have it at 30 frames per second, aspect ratio 16 by 9, resolution is 1920 by 1080. I'm using the best deinterlacer that I have. I'm using the best interpolation that I have. I'm just putting this into an MP4 format. I'm not using the hardware encoder. I am using lib x2x64 codec. I'm not using the NVIDIA codec. The average bit rate, and I have to change this because this doesn't seem to save. I want to save every time. I want 20 megabits per second, which is probably too high. Probably will go ahead and experiment with 14 megabits per second. I want the GOP at 120 frames fixed. I want 3B frames, and I want dual pass. And a lot of this has to do with what YouTube recommends whenever you do export a video for uploading to YouTube. But some of it is just my own personal preference after going through and looking at my own videos before I upload them. With audio, I want YouTube to have as much data as possible before they encode and I begin losing all kinds of generations. So I set the bitrate to 640k, which is the highest that this thing can go. And that's all I do. I just double check the frames per second, and I change the bitrate under the codec. And then as long as dual pass is checked for this particular video, I'm going to export it. I'm going to call it Let's Finish it's our Secret Garden Part 2 End. I'll have all the fancy symbols and stuff on that after it actually becomes a title, but when I upload this to YouTube, this will automatically become the title, and that will kind of remind me of what I need to do to it to make it match the other titles that I have so I can be consistent. I'll hit save, and then over here it'll show me my progress for this, but now I can go ahead and open another 3 files for another video and start all over again. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this or found it entertaining, educational in some way. If I helped you on deciding whether or not ShotCut might be a good software for you, that's a good thing too. It's constantly getting updated. The developer is very, very active on the forums, and they do a really good job of answering questions. There's a lot of really cool filters on here, a lot of which I haven't even messed with. And the text filter just got a lot better than what it used to be. I will miss the 3D text that I used to have plastered all over my videos. I thought that was a cool, kind of stupid feature, but I thought it was very characteristic of me. But that's it. So we're going to stop this so my hardware can actually do its work. Until next time, bye-bye.